All right, so anime question of the Sunday of the week. All right.
Of the week. All right.
What moment in anime, I wouldn't say made you cry, what moment in anime was the saddest to you, excluding Big Three?
I'm going to have to go with Pokemon, the movie.
Pokemon 2000, the
Pokemon
movie.
2000,
Okay.
the movie. Why? Because honestly, one, I was a kid at the time, but the when Ash decided to throw hands with Mewtwo, and
Really?
yeah, Ash decided to throw hands with Mewtwo, and
Really?
Mewtwo clapped back at him, and Ash turned to a statue, and all the Pokemon were crying because he had turned to a statue.
Really?
He wasn't moving no more, and then Pikachu came up to him. He was like, Pikachu.
Yeah,
He,
that was good. Okay. Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
And everybody was like,
oh,
fuck, Ash just died. Ain't no fucking way Ash just died.
Yeah, I'll give you that
was
one.
A crazy moment.
I do remember actually being pretty shook.
And I was a kid too. I was like, no.
Yeah.
Pokemon Yellow. Bro, that moment killed me.
Oh my god. I may have talked to you about this before. I don't think I've said it on here before, but I was going through I went through when I first discovered, and you probably may know what I'm about to say. So when I discovered Iron Blood Orphans, and there was a bunch of sad moments towards the end of the show, but the one that really hit me was when Orga was walking to his car when Tekkaden was finally when they were getting lit up, like they was getting their ass beat towards the end and they were falling apart. Because we talk about Biscuit dying, we can talk about even Mikazuki dying at the end. We could talk about that, but like
Biscuit killed me.
But what really got me was when Orga was walking to his car with one of the littler Tekkaden kids, and they just got fucking ran up on. It was just like, pow! Like just started fucking just lit him up and fucking blasted Orga in the chest. Yeah. And then it showed, I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, the transmission that went through to Mikazuki when he found out, and I fucking lost it because like I was connected to that show. I was I don't know, for whatever reason I was connected to that show. And then when when they ran up and that little kid at Oregon was like, bah, bah, they just fucking a whole drive-by just fucking lit them up. Man. Now Mikazuki going out like a G. That's Mikazuki. I expected. Yeah. They took out hundreds. Like I expected them to go out like fucking gangsters. But when Orga was just walking with the little kid, like holding his hand to the car, and then just fucking bah, 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 bah. I was like, Ricky. Some of y'all won't understand that reference. Yeah, some of y'all won't understand that reference. Otakuans, welcome back. So today, as you can tell, we have up our anime tier list for the last season of our anime 2023 season that we just went through. Now we got some hitters on here. You know, there's some things. We did put some returners. I honestly can't remember if we put returners in the last one. I'm pretty sure we did. Did we put returners?
Season 2.
Yeah. So we're gonna run down our quick news segment, and then we're gonna hit into our tier list, going over the 12 returners and not 12 in total, but the 12 animes we have up, returners and brand new animes. Right before we get into our next upcoming episode, which you guys will be happy, we will have a special guest. We'll have a special guest on here all the way from California. We won't spoil the surprise too much, but we'll have a special guest on next week. So, jumping into some of the news of anime in the wide world of anime. And you're watching Disney Channel.
The worldwide world of anime.
The worldwide world of anime. Anyway, so... Alright, so first up, Zombie 100 is all on a indefinite hiatus. Honestly, I fucking love Zombie 100, and I'm so mad of all these damn hiatuses they've been doing, all these damn, like, they've just been holding it off. Like, it's just been skipping weeks, and then it'll skip 2 weeks, and then it'll skip 1 week, and then it'll be like the next week, and then it'll do it again. I'm like, what is something has to be going on in the studio. I don't know what it is, but something's going on that they're not telling us about. But right now it's on an indefinite hiatus. Nobody knows when it'll be back. Hopefully it comes back soon. but we don't know. So next, Attack on Titan is getting an 18-page new manga. So there's not really a lot of news about that yet, but they are getting 8 new pages. So we'll see what happens after that. Nobody really knows what it's going to be about, but look forward to that if you're a big Attack on Titan fan, especially a lot of you manga readers out there, fucking nerds. If you like the manga, you collect the manga. Blue Exorcist is actually returning in January. Blue Exorcist was one of my favorite animes. It was one of those like hidden ones that I had noticed like before, long after it came out. It's one of those ones I noticed. I actually got his fucking sword right there.
Yeah, I remember that.
There.
Isn't it one of those Netflix joints?
It is. Well, it's not a Netflix show, but it is on Netflix. I think only the first season though. Only the first season on Netflix, but it will be returning in January for those of y'all who are excited who like Blue Exorcist. Second season was like wasn't compared to the first season, but we'll see what happens going forward. Bleach, the 1,000-Year Blood War Part 3 has been announced for 2024. So hopefully we get that around January, February-ish. We got Bleach, 1,000-Year Blood War Part 2 in here, so we'll see where it makes it on the tier list. Netflix is adopting a Tomb Raider anime. I watched the trailer of it. It actually looks pretty good.
I have seen some clips, some images of it, and it looks really good, actually.
Yeah. Netflix has been coming up on their little, mature content anime jaunts. You know what I'm saying? So it'll probably be pretty good, and it'll probably be graphic. Hopefully, that's what I'm looking for. Not because of Tomb Raider, but other things.
Which Tomb Raider are you thinking about, Angelina?
What are you talking about? Anyways, that wraps up our news for this. Now, if you guys want to hear anything else, or if you guys want to add something, please comment down below. Again, before we get into this tier list, like, subscribe. Those likes, those subscribes, and everything, they really do help us out. We're here for you guys, so like, subscribe, leave a comment, ring the notification bell, do all the stuff that everybody else tells you to do. Just do it for us. We're better, honestly. It's just, we're better. So, all right. So, for our tier list, we have S rank, which is our S tier. We have A, B, C, and D. Obviously, for obvious reasons, anybody who's seen a freaking tier list, S is the best, D is the lowest. Explains itself. Yeah. All right. So the first anime we have up is going to be the Great Cleric. Now, the Great Cleric was, I call it great. Now, it was pretty good. I think there was a lot more that could have been done with it personally. I don't know if it's going to get a second season or anything like that. Sometimes these are very 50-50 on second seasons. Yeah. So I don't know if it will. It definitely has a lot of character development in it, but I feel like there's a point where it kind of just pauses, right? When he makes the relationship with the Pope in it, I think it just kind of pauses, and there's not really, besides the labyrinth for the last 5 episodes, there's not really much else. He already at the last episode he defeated the labyrinth. I mean, that's it. You know what I'm saying? And he gained a new rank, or she gave him the rank of bishop or something like that. I honestly am gonna put this in A, because I think it's really good, and I think it's a good show to just watch and just enjoy, and enjoying it. There's a little bit of action, but it's not like the best fucking, labyrinth adventure style anime I've ever seen in my life. You know what I'm saying? It's not something where I'm like, oh yeah, I can't wait for the next episode. I'll see you the next episode. I'll be like, oh shit, another episode, cool. Yeah. And I'll turn it on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm giving that an A rank for that.
I understand. I definitely look forward to another season. Hopefully it does receive another season.
Yeah, definitely.
So next one we're moving on to is Liar Liar. So Liar, I've talked about it a couple times. Honestly, it had a really slow start. It didn't make sense. The main character, like at first, he's portrayed to be someone who's not that talented because he took the scores to get into this gambling school, and his scores weren't that great. But he managed to get in on like some type of special type of event. Well. Anyway, he becomes like the main person that everyone needs to beat because he's the 7-star student, and everyone now needs to defeat him. But he's supposedly not good at the game, so he needs to cheat in order to defeat all these other students. Well, somewhere between that beginning, starting like that, again, slow and really weird, he became really, really good at games. And it was like, okay, I thought you sucked at games, but now suddenly you're good at games. So honestly, the show just became an asshole towards the end, and
Really.
you're just kind of left like, okay, I understand the whole premise of this show, but it's really not working for me. If you understand what I mean,
Yeah.
he's not he's
Hmm.
not the character that he's originally portrayed to be. They said yes,
Yeah.
it's something about him, but it hasn't shown us something about him that you need to look out for. It's just suddenly he's really good at games and no one can beat him. It didn't make any sense to me. So at the end of the day, I'm going to go ahead and put this show at a C. It had potential somewhere along the line, but it lost that potential the very next episode. It is what it is.
I honestly never watched this one, so
Hey,
I
hey,
couldn't tell you. But
don't
I'm a
even worry
believer.
about it.
I trust you. So next we got a fucking banger. So we got Bleach Thousand Year Blood War Part 2. I mean, this is literally the climax of. Well, I wouldn't even say the climax really, because we're getting a Part 3. Thousand Year Blood War goes on for a minute. So I'd say this is definitely when we start getting the action that we wanted out of the Thousand Year Blood War. Because if y'all remember, Part 1 was a lot of setup. It was a lot of setup. There was some fighting and stuff, but there was a lot of setup for Ichigo to get his new powers, things like that, train. But I mean, this was action packed. It was Stern Ritters versus Soul Reapers. It was just flawless, in my opinion, flawless. So again, like we talked about in the news, Bleach coming back 2024, hopefully January timeframe. But I'm putting this at S tier. I mean, I've always loved
Yeah.
Bleach anyways. I've loved Bleach anyways, and this just coming back is just fantastic. We're getting that action that we got in the past, just reanimated and just a lot more of it. So I Bleach is S tier for me.
And after that final episode, it cemented why is part of the big three. That final episode was beautiful.
Yeah. Ooh, muy caliente.
All right, next show we are moving on to is going to be Am I Actually the Strongest? This show was a dud. It started off as a decent show. He was isekai'd into
We were
this
talking
world.
big about this
I
one.
thought the show was a really good show. He was isekai'd into this new world. He that girl, like the fox demon looking girl that you can see there, she was supposed to be she was such a strong demon, but she recognized him for his strength. And it was about him being low key the strongest, even though his parents, like the royals, they threw him out because he had the weakest of all the magics. But in actuality, he had over 100, but that wasn't a normal thing in that kingdom. So it had a really strong start, and then it just became him going to school. Like maybe it has potential. I'm gonna say that it has potential.
Okay.
It has a setup maybe for season 2 because it's someone he met in the school. Like again, they're going to class every day. They're learning new things. But at the end of the day, the story isn't progressing further. It's progressed in the beginning. I would say the first 6 to 8 episodes it progressed, but then the last few episodes it was straight school, straight going to class. What club are we going to be in? Oh, the school bully is bullying us. He's trying to send assassins. I'm like, okay, so what are we going towards? So I think I'm going to leave this one as a B because it has the potential to possibly be an A if they continue on with the storyline of the girl that he met is possibly the past demon lord. But if it's just going to continue on with the school environment, how do I deal with the school bully? Then it's going to even possibly sink to a C for me.
Classroom of Heroes. I'm like almost disappointed, but not yet disappointed. So it was a really good show.
Okay.
I when I first talked about it after the first 4 or 5 episodes that came out, it wasn't like a normal high school show. It was like the fighting and everything's good, but nothing towards the end, nothing came of anything. It's honestly turned into the daily life of strong high schoolers who fight each other. They do fight every episode. Don't get me wrong. There's fighting in every episode. They throw hands, but it's like, oh, okay. And then we finally get to the point where Alice, or I forgot what her name is, the android that says, is that a command or whatever it is? We find out that we find out she has sisters, and them sisters are trying to kill Blade, and we're just like, okay, but then they defeat him, and then it's like, oh, I thought this was gonna be like a big storyline.
What are we doing?
I thought this was gonna be a big storyline. Like, it's not going anywhere. It's a daily life, but the daily life was set up like it was gonna go somewhere. Now you do get the inkling where every time he does something really, really powerful or has to pull a move out, his percentage, what he could use of his powder goes up. So it's like, okay, what happens when he gets to 100? Or maybe by the time he gets there, like something big happens. But like, this doesn't strike me as a show that's getting a second season. So then it would have just been a dud of a season. You know what I'm saying? I do like this show. I'm struggling between B and C because it's honestly like, where is it going? Like, I'm waiting for something to happen.
Yeah.
And maybe this is just meant to be just watch it and enjoy it and shut the fuck up, but you didn't set it up that way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give it a B because I did like it, you know?
Okay.
I did like the show. So it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give it a B. Maybe we'll get some more. If we get another season, maybe they'll set something up. But it's just, it did turn a lot into like eating lunch in the cafeteria and talking, and like I was like, okay, fuck, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But B for me.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Like it was etchy, it was cringe, but it was cringe for the good reasons. Like it wasn't overly. Yeah, it wasn't overly cringe. So it was a solid show. B, I can absolutely understand B.
Okay.
B, C, I can understand why you're on the fence for that.
Okay. So Mushoku Tensei, you know me, I dig, look at forums, I look shit up online all the time. It's widely hated for this specific season because, and not because of what happened with the other podcaster or whatever, it's widely hated because nothing happened. However, a lot of people don't realize that this is literally the manga. Like, this is literally on pace with the manga, kind of like Vinland Saga, where a lot of people hated that Vinland Saga turning into farming simulation.
Yes,
and
it's
like,
an overall story.
but,
It's not just.
but that is that is quite literally the manga. So, the only gripe I have with fucking Mushoku Tensei was that he didn't fucking realize it was his elf girlfriend the whole time. Like, are you like, if my wife put on some glasses and changed her hair color, I'd be like, are you dumb? You know, like, you know what I'm saying?
It's been
like,
years. It's been years.
I don't give a fuck. I don't care, bro. I don't care. But other than that, I thoroughly enjoyed Mushoku Tensei. And only because I knew that this is where we were supposed to be at. Like, I knew this is how the show's supposed to go. I'm not going to give it an S tier. I'm going to give it an A only because the last season for me was so much better. And of course, just being me, there was the more action, more fighting, you know, shit like that. That's just who I am. So this is, again, guys, this is an opinion. Yeah. So, but I'm going to give it an A because I know where it's about to go is about to be lit. So I give it an A. I give it an A.
Well, you definitely got the that forward knowledge because Mushoku Tensei is about to get more and more lit.
It was kind of boring though. Even though you knew where it was supposed to be, it was kind of boring.
Yeah, it was just like for that whole relationship and now their engagement. So I can understand why this season specifically was an A. But overall, this is going to be an S tier anime.
Yeah, overall the anime is going to be S.
We're doing this season. I understand.
Yeah. Okay. Relax, guys.
So the next one is my unique skill makes me OP even at level 1. Oh, okay. So I followed this show. I watched it every week. It wasn't a terrible show, but it was not a D show, as you would say. It was a C. Okay. It was a C. Like everything made sense. They explained everything. Like it wasn't like ass pull after ass pull after ass pull. I really don't like shows that are just going to be ass pulls. His unique skill was hella unique. It made sense. He utilized it intelligently. Just the show was cheeks. And that's not his fault. The show was just cheeks. Like shit wasn't not the really main character's happening. Fault that the show was like ass. He was lit. It just shit wasn't happening. Like it was like they were in a dungeon farming creatures for spices and materials to cook with, bro. Like it wasn't his fault. He got a gat.
That's funny.
He had a whole gat and he was freezing people, controlling people. He was able to level up his people. Like everything he had in his arsenal was amazing. But his environment just wasn't it. So if he can move up into another show, like another isekai, that would be great for him. But unfortunately, to balance things out, this show's definitely going to be a C. The story sucked, but the main character was lit, honestly.
Okay. We'll see. We'll do our showdown. We'll see what happens.
Let's see what he can do.
So Syduality Noir. This show was amazing. Now, to not contradict, but to the counter to Classroom of Heroes, this show was set up to be about a daily life show. However, This show is a mech anime. If y'all don't know, mech anime, they fight alien monsters that have invaded the planet that come out when it rains. It's kind of like fucking um, what's that show
Come on,
called
when it
with Vin Diesel?
rains.
Yeah, yeah. When it rains, the alien. When it's dark and it rains, the
That's
little aliens
scary as
come from
shit.
underground. Yeah. Anyways, the aliens come from the ground. It's kind of like the show. It's called Pitch Black or the
Yeah,
one
Pitch
with Vin
Black.
Diesel.
Pitch Black.
Riddick. Yeah, the Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
part of Chronicles, but it was Pitch Black.
Yeah. Pitch Black is when the aliens came out in the rain. It was literally those creatures, pretty much.
Okay.
If you looked at them, but they're in mech suits and they fight the creatures. This shit is set up to be a daily life, and I fucking love it because I would love to have this daily life. Like these dudes sit in mech, they have their own like garage workshops where they sleep and they work on their giant fucking or not. I wouldn't say giant. Like imagine they're probably as tall as like a 2-story house. They're not like massive, but they're they're not or what is it the Jaeger massives from like Pacific Rim, but this is set up to be a daily life show of these guys in mech suits who go out and fight these aliens, go on missions, they fight, like that's all it is. There's no demon lore, there's no craziness. Now, eventually, if they throw like this big fucking monster that they didn't know existed coming out of it, I love that. But right now, it's just, I just learned how to be this mech pilot. I'm doing my best.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna get stronger. I'm gonna get stronger for this girl, Noir, his little robot girl. Um, this show is S for me because I love one, I love mech animes,
Yes.
and two, not a single episode in this whole show disappointed me. This show is pretty good. I love this show, to be honest, and I hope it doesn't seem like again another one that'll get another season, but I hope there's another season coming out for it. Yeah, I
Well,
think
I'm so happy that I luckily got this show and Maui did not because he was going to poop on it. Our next one is going to be Reborn as a vending machine.
There's one down here.
And counter to Maui's belief, it is not a D or F tier.
Leave it in the row. Don't even put it up. Leave it down here.
Reborn as the vending machine is an isekai, obviously, and he was reborn as a vending machine. Sucks. This guy was a vending machine fanatic. He loves vending machines. He knows everything and anything about vending machines, which comes in handy because he dies and becomes a vending machine, and he has to use his knowledge of vending machines and the different types of vending machines.
I don't think anybody has ever
life.
said vending machines that much in a sentence that you fucking said vending machines.
This man has said it more than me. Trust me. So the premise of the show is trash, and anyone who hasn't watched the show you are 100% justified for believing the show is trash. The show is actually decent, not good. Pretty decent though, I will say that. So we did move on to explore the whole trapped in a labyrinth thing or trapped in a dungeon thing. He is in a labyrinth. It has different levels or stratospheres in which they have like gods or like leaders, like dungeon leaders of each stratosphere, that they find out that when you defeat that leader, you receive a coin. And with that coin, at the end of it all, you can make a wish, any wish you want, and you can get what you want. Well, it comes to a head where he's like, okay, I want to be human again and live the rest of my life with the girl that he met, and they're now falling in love. She's in love with him. She kisses him. And it's a moment where like he gets a lot of kisses from girls. He's actually a pimp in this new world. I understand where he's coming from because he has like a clash. Like, do I want to be a human again or do I want to remain a venom? I know, I get it. I'm boring you. But anyway, it does move on to the stratosphere. They're beating these dungeon masters, the floor leaders, whatever, and they're getting these coins. And he comes up with pretty inventive ways to actually defeat. He's the reason many of them are defeated, if not the one who
main
defeated
character.
them. I mean, he's the main character, obviously. Is the show a S?
It's the main character.
He has a soul. His soul is male. Leave him alone. So is the show a S? No. And I know Maui would even hate me if I decided to put it in A.
I won't even put it. Don't even. Anything.
So I'm
anything
go
above
ahead,
B is gonna go.
I'm gonna go ahead and put the show as a B because again, the premise of the show is cheeks, but he makes it work because he was a vending machine fanatic. He does use pretty inventive, intelligent ways to actually defeat these monsters. And even though sometimes the animation isn't the best, the continued plot line is pretty good, and the main character again, he's pretty good. I actually enjoy his character, so I'm gonna go ahead and put him as a B. Sorry, Maui. You're not gonna watch that one. We're not even gonna comment.
No, I
All
thought
right.
no. I watched half of it and I was over
Yeah,
it.
I
I had to
understand.
stomach the
Yeah.
last two episodes I watched, anyways.
So the next one is actually going to be Sweet Reincarnation. So Sweet Reincarnation was actually pretty good. I'm
Really?
going to be putting this one in A. I'm going to preliminary
Okay.
put it in A. So when I immediately like, we didn't even cover this one for what's coming out next season, because my immediate thoughts were, this is an isekai, so I'm probably going to watch it. But it's an isekai about a guy who died, and he was like one of those ones who like went to sweet competitions and made cakes and all this culinary stuff. So I was like, that might be pretty lame. In his next life, he wants to live a life where he's like he makes the world happy by making sweets. So like it already set up, and I was like, it's decent, but it's not something that's going to make me want to talk about it at the end of the season. Boy, was I wrong. This guy he's reincarnated into this new world. This kid, he's overpowered. Like he's OP. He's the standard Eskai troop. He's OP. He utilizes his powers in very inventive ways. He saves the princess. He's engaged to another princess. Like, and he's very intelligent. Like his family recognized their intelligence. So of their village, his father is like the village head, and he like listens to his son because his son is very intelligent
Hmm.
and makes very good decisions that actually move their village along.
Really?
In like not modern day, like they're an advancing village. Like they started off as just a group of people. They found an area and they're trying to become more and more established. He's moved that village along tremendously since he's been born. So that's one great thing about him. And he's a great guy. He has great skills like dealing with royals. He has great negotiation skills. He put royals, stump them, puts them on their toes. Like he's a great guy overall. He does still want to make sweets and make a world happy with his sweets, but he knows how to get
This
down
what?
and get busy with his sweets. He makes cookies and he makes cakes and he
He
makes
gets
people
down with his
happy
sweets,
when
huh?
his candies and whatnot melt in their mouth. Neither here or there. It's a really great
Yo,
show.
pause.
This is a really great show. Is it
Uh,
amazing over the top? No. It's a really great show to watch episode 1 all the way to the season finale. It's a story beginning to end, and you look forward to even a season 2. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and leave this one as an A.
okay. All right. So, Undead Girl Murder Farce. Disappointment. I already, and for the Otakuans who've been with us A1 since day one, y'all know I hate detective style animes. I just cannot fucking stand them. That's just me. I don't know why. Everybody has the thing that they don't like. Some people hate isekais. Some people hate shonens. Some people hate detective shit. I hate detective shit. It started out, the first episode was a fucking amazing, right? I was like, this show's about to be lit. This show's about to be on it. And honestly, obviously, unless you're a manga reader, if you're just an anime watcher like me, I collect mangas, but um, if you're a manga reader and an anime watcher or just a manga reader, then you know what happens in these, and that's fine. But if you're just an anime watcher, like a majority of the people who fucking watch anime, because you got to really love anime to fucking read the manga and fucking watch, anime. For us anime watchers, this shit took a turn. Honestly, I know in the title it says detective slash action, shit like that. And from the first episode, I was like, okay, maybe they're gonna be like, do a little detective shit, but whatever, that's cool. But quite literally, the next fucking episode was like 5 years later, and it was all about detective shit. No fighting, no nothing. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, huh? I was like, hell, when did this happen? Because it was all about, oh, it's about a kid who's half Oni and half human. Oni is the demon in Japanese, right? And he's fighting in this ring. He works at a circus fighting other monsters for money. And this
Yeah.
shit was lit. And I was like, oh fuck, he's throwing hands, like, and then this girl that's in the head, which you can kind of see a little bit, which you'll see when some images come up. But she um, hired him to help her find his, or help. She hired him to help her find her body
Yeah.
because somebody stole her body because she's an immortal. And so she wanted to find her body. So I'm like, okay, cool. That's all this is going to be about. They're going to go out. They're going to do some detective work to find her body. But then the next episode is them years later just being detectives on some vampire wife that was killed from the family, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, huh? You know, did y'all not find her body? Like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It honestly disappointed me, and I watched it, but it was all detective shit, and there was some action. Don't get me wrong, there was definitely a little bit of action, but it was just like
Just
it's
sprinkled
most
throughout.
just mostly detective shit, and I don't like detective shit, to be honest. I'm not gonna put this at a D because the action that you do get is good. It's not like shitty action and then just bullshit detective shit. It's good action and then bullshit detective shit.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put this at a C because, and there's some people out here that may fucking try to chop my head off. Like, who was that one guy that commented when I said Boku no Stray Dogs was ass?
Bungo
Because
Stray Dogs.
yeah, and he was
Okay,
fucking,
somebody
he was
somebody tells you
mad.
makes
Are you
sense.
okay? Yeah,
Hey, everyone's
apparently.
allowed to have their fandom, and everyone's like allowed to
Yeah,
have their dislikes and preferences. If he doesn't
yeah.
like mysteries, he doesn't like mysteries. I like mysteries. If I would have watched it, I probably would have put it at like a B, maybe,
Yeah.
possibly.
I mean,
But
it was good. The action was good, and the characters are written well. So don't get me wrong about that. But it's just when it just abruptly changed into detective shit
yeah,
out of nowhere, the transition was not smooth enough. Because then it
yeah,
was like, because when they were doing their detective shit so well, I'm like, wait, is this a time skip? And then all of a sudden, one of the vampire sons shows a magazine of like them solving a crime like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and it had all three of their pictures. I'm like, wait, so okay, so it's a time skip. Like, you're not gonna say 5 years later, you know? Like, what
yeah,
the
that'd be
fuck?
pretty ugly.
You know what I'm saying? So it honestly, it just wasn't the best for me personally. So
All good, all
C,
good.
C.
I might check it out. I might check it out. It's
You
a
might
pretty
like
good
it.
premise. It's a pretty good
You might like
premise.
it.
So our last one is going to be Spy Classroom Season 2. I did talk about it before.
Mhm.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's about these dropouts or the washouts of the spy academy. Like they're still in the academy. They weren't kicked out or anything like that, but they
Yeah.
just haven't been able to graduate. Well, eventually this group is started because this very experienced spy, like they say he's the master spy or the best spy of all the spies, um, all of his rest of his team dies and he needs a new team and they decide to start this new team of these washouts and him. So essentially he's going to be the one who trains them to be master spies. Season 1 was pretty solid. It kind of started really weird because it showed that they were able to pretty much finish their first mission at the beginning of the season, even though it was set up in the first couple episodes that this was gonna be like an all season thing. It is what it is though. Season 2 came in pretty good because it continued on with the premise that these girls are getting really better at what they do. Each of them have their specialist attack or their specialist thing that they do to get the information or to defeat the bad guy. And season 2 really highlighted each and every one of them. So by the end of the season, you're like, oh yeah, it makes sense that they
Yeah.
finally are recognized by this master spy as you are actually spies, and he officially graduates them of the spy academy by the end of season 2. So season 2 was pretty good. It wasn't an S class. It didn't even start out as an S class, but continuing on with a good storyline and developing them to get better definitely is a class thing in my opinion.
Okay.
It's really good animation. It's really good story. If you like spies, then you're gonna really love this. It has really good action parts, and it's really good when it comes to like mind games between spy versus spy. So definitely, Spy Classroom season 2 is gonna get an A in my book.
Well, we're a little bottom heavy this season or last season.
Didn't I tell you at the beginning of this that
Yeah,
this season was kind of meh?
this
It just
this
like
season
sat
was
in the
pretty
middle,
mid.
you
I'm
know?
gonna be honest. This season was pretty mid. It didn't. The crux of this season was the returners. Let's be honest. Like that's what really carried this season was the returners.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time you can say like, oh, that happens all the time, like Demon Slayer or Attack on Titan or whatever it is, but like there's also just really good first animes that come out. Like this season coming up, I know we're gonna have some fucking bangers, but this one was just kind of like, eh. And I was only really looking forward to those returners, like Mushoku Tensei, Bleach. I know Spy Classroom for you, you know, things like that. So it was kind of like, you know what I'm saying? We'll see how the damn Otaku Octagon showdown goes, but I don't know if there's that. Okay, so everybody, that will wrap up our episode for today. We appreciate it if you stuck all the way through it. We love you. Please, please, please leave a like, subscribe, comment, ring the notification bell, hit the ting, right? Let us know what you feel. Hell, if we gave some wrong opinions today, let us know. Let us know. Apparently, if Bungo Stray Dogs was up here, that shit would be in a G tier.
You better let us know
So,
respectfully. Don't come at us wrong.
first of all, watch your mouth. Second of all,
Don't come at us wrong. We
I
gonna
don't
get
want subs
highlighted.
that
Don't
bad.
do
No,
it.
I'm just kidding. I want you to sub just to hate us. I'm okay with that because at
Man.
least it's a sub. No. We really do appreciate you guys. We've been coming up on the subs. We've been coming up on the likes and the views. David's been slapping them shorts out, and them things been looking crispy. So we're trying to make this better, give you guys some entertainment and some news at the same time, because a lot of the time you don't really know what's happening. I know before David and I started this podcast. And started actually just doing news as well. I didn't really know what animes were coming out. I didn't know where they were going to be at. I didn't do research like that. I would just randomly be on Crunchyroll and then just find shit. And then I'd watch it and be like, hey, David, this is cool. And then we finally actually are getting in this content creator thing. And now we actually know the news. So we want to put it out to you guys so that you don't really have to go do that research, go digging. And if you don't know anything, you just get it from us. Like, hey, don't wait for fucking Zombie 100 next week. It's not coming. I'm sorry.
Coming. I'm so sorry.
It's not coming out. No, but we love you guys. We appreciate it. Please keep hitting that sub. Keep getting it up, 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 up. We appreciate it. Peace out.
Peace.